The Black Sea, amid Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, has become a site of regular military action. The most active fighting is taking place around oil and gas drilling rigs. The Ukrainian Defense Forces managed to recapture previously captured Russian facilities in 2023. However, Russia continues to attempt to recapture them, deploying new forces. The Espanola unit, formed in 2024 to defend the Crimean coast from the Ukrainian Armed Forces, is fighting against Ukraine in this area. Crimea.Realities reports on this unit. The Hispaniola Naval Detachment is not part of the Russian Ministry of Defense, but it cooperates with it. It aims to become the first maritime PMC in Russia and carry out its missions at sea. The unit hopes to legalize its status if Russia passes a law on private military companies. Currently, regional governors are authorized to create PMCs. The naval detachment Espanola, as its command claims, was created under the auspices of the Russian head of Crimea, Sergei Aksyonov, to strengthen the defense of the Crimean coast. Initially, Espanola was a ground unit. It was formed within the 88th Rifle Brigade, which fought in Kleshchevka, Chasavoy Yar, Mariupol, Vulda, and Avdiivka in the Donetsk region. The unit's activities have been linked to the Russian private military company Redut and the Russian Ministry of Defense's main intelligence directorate. Open sources also list the Rottenberg brothers, businessmen close to Russian President Vladimir Putin, as its organizers and sponsors, as well as Kremlin structures and state-owned companies that provide security for Russian railways. According to the main intelligence directorate of the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense, Espanola is financed by the ruling United Russia Party. Participants are offered 1 million rubles, while deaths are up to 5 million. The unit was formed primarily from football fans under the leadership of Stanislav Orlov, call sign Spaniard, a member of the Russian fan group Red Blue Warriors. Since September of this year, he has controlled the All-Russian Union of Fans. The qualifications of the fighters and the size of the Espanola Naval Detachment are unknown. According to Stanislav Orlov, specialists with a naval background are needed for this purpose. Currently, the Espanola is strengthening the coastal defenses of the Crimean Peninsula in cooperation with the Black Sea Fleet. One of its missions is to combat unmanned aerial vehicles, marine drones, which the Ukrainian Armed Forces are successfully using to attack Russian targets at sea. Despite its ambitious plans, the naval Espanola has yet to demonstrate any significant military successes. Z Publics cite the operation to destroy a Ukrainian Armed Forces satellite communications node near the Black Sea Towers in early June 2025 as its achievement. The volunteers set out to sea on boats and, having approached close enough, attacked the Ukrainian Armed Forces satellite communications hub using OVOD drones. The strike caught the enemy off guard. The Ukrainian army used the satellite guidance system to coordinate its strikes on Crimea. The naval detachment has recorded another successful operation, RTVI reports. But even in the Z community, not everyone is happy about such news. Russian ZWAR correspondent Vladimir Romanov stated that as soon as Russian specialists with unique qualifications land on a rig in the Black Sea, the Ukrainian Armed Forces immediately begin destroying them like at a shooting gallery. They're firing from afar with heavy machine guns. The gas production unit is essentially a container and there's nowhere to hide. Everything gets smashed. They're also attacking with FPV drones. It's a case of some getting some nice promotional shots, while others are practically guaranteed death, he said.
Dozens of Israelis gathered in central squares in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem on Tuesday morning to mark 2 years since the Hamas attack on October 7. There is a deal on the table, there is an opportunity to end this war and bring everybody back home. We all deserve it, said Shay Dickman, a cousin of hostage Carmel Gat who was killed in Gaza, speaking at the event in Tel Aviv. According to Associated Press, the memorials are being organized by the bereaved families, separate from an anniversary ceremony that the government will hold next week, according to the Hebrew calendar. The split reflects deep divisions over Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's leadership, which many blame for the failure to secure a ceasefire that would free the remaining hostages held by the militants. In the Gaza Strip, where Israel's retaliatory offensive has killed tens of thousands of people and razed entire towns and cities, those who can are fleeing another Israeli invasion of Gaza City while others are sheltering in place. Many are unable to make the arduous and costly journey south. On Monday, Israel and Hamas held indirect talks in the Egyptian resort town of Sharm el-Sheikh to discuss new peace plan put forward by U.S. President Donald Trump. The talks were to continue Tuesday. "We're calling the entire world and President Trump to make the deal happen," implored activist Saipai Haidovsky also in Tel Aviv, adding that today is a very difficult day here in Israel. It's been 2 years since thousands of Hamas-led militants poured into southern Israel after a surprise barrage of rockets. They stormed army bases, farming communities, and an outdoor music festival, killing some 1,200 people, mostly civilians, including women, children, and older adults. They abducted 251 others, most of whom have since been released in ceasefires or other deals. 48 hostages remain inside Gaza, around 20 of them believed by Israel to still be alive. Hamas has said it will release them only in exchange for a lasting ceasefire and an Israeli withdrawal.
Today, it's October 7th. 2 years ago, my aunt was murdered outside her house in Kibbutz Be'eri, and my cousin was taken hostage to Gaza. 11 months later, she was executed by Hamas. But today, there are still 48 hostages in captivity in Gaza, and the war is ongoing. There is a deal on the table. There is an opportunity to end this war and bring everybody back home. We all deserve it. We deserve it. Our neighbors deserve it. We want this war to end and all to come back to their homes.